Wow. Swan. Oh yes. Now Black Swan is kind of complex to understand, kind of, towards the very end, but other than that, it's got a pretty simple tagline to it. It basically centers on a ballerina played by Natalie Portman, who is ahead of her game. She's definitely professional, in my opinion, for ballerina dancing, and her instructor falls off her perfection. You know, all of her performances are heads down, very good, until Mila Kunis' character comes in. Oh yes. Now, Natalie Portman's character basically feels that she is kind of taking over her perfection and stealing all of her spotlight. And she's basically right for the most part, but yet she kind of feels like she's stalking her in a way and following her all around and shit. And things pick up really wacky and crazy from there. Now, this film comes from director Darren Aronofsky, who directed The Wrestler. Very good movie, even though it was kind of an unusual film for him to direct. It still was a very well-made movie. But definitely, oh man, this movie was one of his best movies that he's ever done. And it goes back to his genre of weird filmmaking. Now, again, off the bat, this movie was amazing. Almost every minute of this movie, I was glued to the screen. And I barely ever feel that way to a movie anymore, because some movies that I find enjoyable, yeah, I'll stick to the screen with them a lot, and I can relate to the characters a lot. But here, even though you see characters only a little bit, you fall way ahead of their characters, and you feel for them completely, and you feel for every character that's in this movie completely, until you kind of start to lose that perfection when everything starts going crazy, and you're like, oh crap, she's gonna explode with craziness, you know what I mean? But definitely fits the category of weird for Darren Aronofsky, and he does the film spectacularly. The cinematography and the way he shoots the film is all very well. It's definitely was prepared when it was being shot. I mean, they definitely knew the direction they wanted to take the film. Now, the movie is downright creepy as hell. I mean, there's some scenes where I was just on the edge of my seat. I barely ever feel away in that movie, in any movie I've seen now, because it's always usually a B movie, and then I definitely know what's gonna happen, but here you just don't know, and I definitely just wow, I definitely want that in a horror movie now, because I haven't been seeing it, and definitely in this movie I felt on the edge of my seat throughout a lot of it, because I didn't know what was going to happen next. I didn't know who was going to be killed off, what was going to happen next, and then you see Mila Kunis' character, just how she develops is just really creepy and kind of disturbing at most parts. And Natalie Portman, while she's going crazy in her mind, you feel for her a lot, and you just definitely on her side of how crazy she must be, and your mind just goes ape shit over this. It's just crazy. Definitely, Darren Aronofsky is not afraid to push boundaries in this movie. He shows a lot, stuff you didn't think could be taken real far. It goes farther than possible. I mean, there's this part where Natalie Portman's character is kind of pulling a root of a feather out of her back, or I forget where she was pulling out of. She's pulling out of her skin, and you see it all come out, and it's just gross. And she's pulling a piece of skin off her finger, you know, if you pull a piece of skin off your finger and it kind of more skin comes off than you want it to. Here, it comes off way more than you want it to. I mean, he definitely pushes boundaries and shows you much more than you want to see. Like, you're satisfied from what you've seen now, it's kind of gross, but then he takes it one step ahead and then makes it like, whoa, I can't take this right now. I mean, this is crazy as hell. So definitely, Black Swan is one of my favorite films of the year. If not, then I'm definitely picking this up on Blu-ray when it comes out. I just had a blast seeing it, and I was definitely into it throughout the whole way. And just, wow. And I was very surprised when I went into this film. I had minor expectations to it, and didn't have high hopes. If I saw it, I saw it. If I didn't, I didn't. But I'm really glad I did see it. I would see it again, definitely. I would see if you're like me, dude. Go see it with a bunch of friends, and it's just a real fun time at the movies. So I'm gonna give Black Swan a 9.5 out of 10. I had some minor flaws with it, but very little that I could just pick out that I kind of didn't care for. So a 9.5 out of 10 is what I'm going to give it. So that's my review of Black Swan, guys. I really hope you like it, and I really hope you put this movie to a test if you consider seeing it or not. But until next time, I'm Ian Repash signing off.